What's up with JoJo?
He
I'm
doesn't want
pooping.
his face out in public no more. Hey, leave me that small. I'm okay with that size. I want to be tiny
Hey, can
man
you
today.
put Bilbo on my shoulder or something?
Yeah,
Bro.
You know
yeah.
what?
Make
I
me
can
tiny and put
set
me
him
on your
up.
shoulder.
Oh, you know what? This is kind of cool.
Make me small. What are you doing? Can't
I'm
whisper,
sorry.
is he?
You're a big man. Ooh, you guys are really intimate over there.
Oh, oh, you don't say.
All right,
He's just
guys, here we
jealous.
go. Daddy's Gertie Library, Avatar live action, episode 5, Spirited Away, but not the movie, but funny title nonetheless.
Oh, Spirited Away. I forgot about that movie. That is one of my favorite freaking movie. It's on
That
my
was
top 10
Good, man.
actually of animated movies. Yes.
yeah,
Should probably talk
solid.
about
Whoa,
that movie
whoa,
one day.
whoa. Top 10.
Spirited
That's crazy.
Away. My neighbor
And Princess
Totoro. Princess
Mononoke.
Mononoke.
Ooh, what a
I
movie!
would put Princess Mononoke on top of Mononoke. Princess
Yeah,
Why do we
Mononoke.
have
yeah,
three
sorry.
ways of
Yeah, that was
saying
my
the
fault.
name?
I'm pretty sure it was Princess
It's
Mononoke.
I thought it was Mononoke, but I think they said Mononosuke. I
Yeah,
think
you
they,
said
I said
Mononoke, you said
I
Mononoke or
I said
something like that.
I said
Isn't it
Mononosuke.
Annie okay?
No, Annie
That's
wasn't here,
I'm pretty sure
and
that's the
no, Michael
pronunciation. Yeah,
Michael
that's
Jackson
how it
didn't have
goes.
anything to do with it.
Sure.
It came
Mine was
out
the
around that
wrong one.
time, right?
Sure.
Michael
Everyone
Michael
else
had
can
nothing
have
to do
it.
with it because Michael
No
wasn't
one.
over here screaming, Annie, Annie, are you okay? Are you okay,
I'm
Annie?
sure that's how it's said in
Oh,
certain
did you know?
languages.
They did a rough whatchamacallit, like a rough survey of who of the songs they liked for that song. So there's a rock
Oh
remix or
yeah,
rendition of it by
yeah.
the Ant Farm, I think.
Oh yeah,
And they did
I love
amazing
that
with that
version.
song. I love that version too. And yeah, that one like 50, I think 54%
Mm.
of people preferred that to MJ's.
I mean, I think they're both good. I wouldn't. I don't know if
Yeah,
I
Nah,
can
no,
compare them.
I think Alien Ant Farm did like they took it to a whole new level.
I'm
On
They
I,
my
definitely did.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah, because like when I hear the song,
mm.
that's what it's their version I hear in my head.
Ah,
I don't know, man. I like. I mean, I generally like originals more than the
That's because
remixes.
you
I
grew
think
up.
the remix has
That's
to
because you
blow me
grew
out
up
the
weird.
water.
It's because you
Yeah,
grew up weird.
either the remix has to blow me out the water, and or they have to pay homage to the original.
I heard a really good remix of another song too, and I can't remember it, but that's not why we're here. Today we're here to talk about Spirited Away because Avatar Aang finally gets to like mature into his avatarisms. I don't know
This
what
is
that
Ew.
means.
I don't
this
like
is
that
Just making
phrase.
it up.
I mean,
Avatarisms.
Avatarisms?
Yeah.
Mannerisms?
Mannerisms. Well, he
This
was.
doesn't sound right.
He had to be like an avatar. Actually, he didn't finish that episode, so I don't know if they survived.
well. I think that he's always
You
been.
don't know? I'm pretty sure they did. There's like several more
Yeah,
episodes.
I don't think it's like yeah. So Aang is dead. So how are we gonna save the Northern Water Tribe?
Yeah, this is a new
So I guess it's
series,
not called
guys.
The
Here,
Last
here we
Airbender
talk
then,
about
huh?
if he fails.
Or does
Avatar, the no airbender. Actually, it's not even called Avatar anymore because the Avatar line is done. Oh wait,
well
is
Almost
he
it
died
done?
Avatar,
if
The
he dies in
Last
the spirit
Airbender.
world. If he dies in the spirit world, doesn't he just get reincarnated anyway? Right?
Yeah,
Because he
that's a good
dies in the
point. That's
spirit.
a good
No,
point.
he
If
doesn't
they
because
kill him,
he's the last airbender, so he couldn't
Well,
be
yeah, it
Avatar
wouldn't be
after him.
called Avatar: The Last Airbender. It would just be called Korra,
whoa.
the
Do you
Waterbender.
think that there's people who kind of wish that he was just at the air temple and he just died just so he could get reincarnated?
I mean,
Yeah.
no. Well, they were.
that's isn't that why the Fire Nation were trying to
Hmm.
kill him so that he would get because the next cycle would be fire, right?
No,
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 the next
no.
Oh,
cycle, if Aang dies at the moment, there is no more Avatar. It ends with him because there's no
What?
more elements of wind to
Oh,
learn.
no, no. Oh yeah, that's right. Because if he died, yeah, yeah. If he
Right.
died, then eventually when it came back
The
around,
cycle, right?
but
And
the
then
next one would be water
yeah,
because it's
that's how we
Right, we
like
got
all know
Korra.
that.
Well,
yeah.
that's how we
No,
got
but he
Korra.
asked if it
We
was
do
be
know that
fire.
we got Korra.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Why would missing an element even matter?
That's what I was
Well,
gonna
Because he
say.
because
can't
Like,
learn
would
it.
it
because
though?
four generations later, it'll be like, okay, then it'll be Korra, then the next one will be
Earth,
some Toph
right?
disciple, then the next
Yeah,
one will be fire, then the
fire.
But
next one,
Yeah.
oh
I
shit, there's
feel
no
like
more air.
over time, like remember how they said, "Oh, water,
Hey,
we
why you
found
slapping
out
me?
how to
Why you
bend
slapping me?
water."
Put those hands down.
Someone's
Put your
eventually
hands
gonna
down.
know how to do wind.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Maybe, but
Hands.
I think that well, they learned wind bending from the
Wind
those
wind bending?
yeah,
That's what
airbending.
comes out of my tooth.
Sorry.
Windbending.
I bet
I know that
Windbenders
I know
go.
it's a yeah, it's a subsect of airbending. It's actually very niche.
Yeah.
I
But
wind bend all the
I
time.
think certain
I'm like,
people call it hookah.
yeah. I think I was thinking about breaking wind. I was like, yeah.
well,
But yeah, eventually it would be but yeah, that's interesting. But yeah,
no,
this episode is very, very, very different than
you say so.
yeah, I think so. I mean the first
You
one
got
was
flashbacks.
well this one like they've been doing a lot of different things with all the live actions. Like they've been doing almost like a time for time, but little embellishments here. They've been picking different things from different episodes and conglomerating them all together. But this one, they've picked from a bunch of episodes and they've recreated complete characters. So this is a lot different than the anime. So people who have
I haven't seen the cartoon in years, so I don't remember how these people
It's
are
on
supposed to be.
it's on Paramount on Nickelodeon. You can watch it at night.
Ooh,
Nick and
It's not-
unpopular opinion.
Nick-
He said cartoon.
it's on Netflix. Yeah, anime.
Mm,
You
No,
okay?
but-
You coughing there?
I'm gonna stick on my shoulder over here and go with it's a cartoon. Oh
Yeah.
Yeah,
cartoon.
shoulder. Yeah, how about that for your shoulder?
man, I don't want to be a big boy. Make me a tiny man.
Sorry, you said Chinaman?
Tiny man.
Oh.
Whoa!
Whoa. So make sure you put subtitles when he says that.
Yeah. Sheesh, I just
I
wanted
was
to
trying
be
to make it-
small. Sorry,
trying to make
me
it
a
as
small,
racist as
petite
possible.
individual on his shoulder, if you would.
We're having a little too much fun with it. My bad.
Why is
No,
he-
no,
why
but
is-
but no, it's very different. Like the owl is the owl from the Great Library, which isn't introduced until book 2. Um,
A Harry
You
Potter
have-
reference.
where are we
Huh?
going? Are we just going all wheelie mealy now? Just
no, I
running
mean,
around
no,
from
no.
one
Kobe
spot
had
to
said,
another spot. What about the
"Nah."
fact that the forest was also the same thing from like that swamp thing, right? Because like they
No.
remembered-
No, the
Wasn't it?
force is the same. No.
Oh, you
The
know what?
forest-
I'm confusing books. My bad. Never mind. Carry on.
Yeah, no, but like but I get the confusion because it was like it was a point where it was real swampy and Sokka had said something. But the destroyed forest was that part was in the solstice, winter solstice. And
Yeah,
but
it's-
besides that, they
it's kinda
introduced
weird.
like a lot of spirit creatures, like the face dude, the Ko. They didn't have him until later in book 1. They didn't have the owl till the next book. They didn't have I don't even know what their fox came from. And
Yeah,
the
what's up
way
with that? Who
The
is that?
moon. The moon.
is
The fox is
it?
the moon.
Yeah.
The fox
She's
is
the moon one.
Oh, that's
Moon?
interesting.
Well,
See,
she
what's the
had
moon?
she was the water. Oh wait, you guys haven't seen that episode. Never mind. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, well, in the cartoon anime,
It was a
the
fish.
there were fish. Yeah, there was the moon
Wait,
and
they
the
made the
Yeah.
I think you're
they made
thinking.
the
I think you're
moon
thinking
ones
something else.
into fox.
that's
no,
different.
no.
Oh,
it's
man,
not-
I'm watching
no,
this
the moon-
anymore.
No, no,
Nope,
no, no.
I'm out.
I
I don't
explained
care
it
anymore.
wrong.
Nope, I don't care anymore.
I
Get me off
care.
this
Go
guy's
It's
ahead.
shoulder.
not the
Get me
moon.
off this guy's shoulder. I don't want to be on this shoulder.
Oh,
anymore.
I'm
Get me
sorry,
off of it.
Kobe.
Move me off of this shoulder. This-
I
Thank you.
forgot
Carry
you
me.
guys didn't see the other episodes yet. I
Damn.
just finished
Yeah,
it.
they're
Because
not
I
out
thought I
to
did.
us.
I forgot what episode you said
Second
we
year
were
of
on, and I
Log
was like,
Again.
I'm pretty sure he said 9 or 8.
That sounds like you just couldn't wait to watch it.
You just
It's
getting
understandable.
You just couldn't help yourself. You're just like, oh, this is good. Oh, this is
Yeah, and it
good.
was
Oh,
really
this is
good. So I just
Oh,
kept
it's over
watching.
now. Isn't it 8
Spoilers.
episodes?
Yeah.
It's just 8 episodes.
You're
Yeah,
supposed
yeah,
to
it's
hate on
over.
it.
You said
That's
9.
why it was funny when he said 9.
You said 9.
But yeah, I think so.
Right.
People who get upset with wanting to see a live action interpretation being as close to the original as possible are going to be very upset with this episode because this episode is a lot different and a lot
Really,
different. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
I
But
don't remember what the cartoon version of it, so
okay,
I
well, just
can't
a brief
say.
rendition in the cartoon version. They go to this place. They're like, "Oh my gosh, the Avatar!" I mean, the beginning all worked out the same. See the burnt forest.
Yeah.
Oh man, Aang's like, "Oh, this sucks. This is my fault." Friends trying to help him out. They stumble to the village. The village like, "Hey, we really need your help." And Aang's like, "Yeah, I'll do it," but he doesn't know what to do. He tries to
Yeah.
fight the monster. The monster just manhandles everybody. Escapes with some more people. Eventually he escapes with takes Sokka with him. Then Aang's just feels defeated, and then he ends up accidentally going into the spirit world, and then Roku's dragon is sent to pick up Aang, and then he goes to see Roku, and then the thing comes back, and then he's like, "Hey, the force isn't destroyed. I don't know why you're angry." And he shows him the apple, the acorn, and then the spirit's like, "Oh, okay, everything's cool," and walks away, and everybody comes back.
They telling
So
me all I
that's
gotta
how,
do is give this man an acorn and he's gonna be all right.
yeah,
Pretty
essentially,
much.
that's how the. So I don't mind that they changed that. Like, I mean, it was nice, little, cute, sweet story, especially as a kid, and I love it, and I like it. But this is a much more serious tone, and if they went with that more jovial term version, then it would have kind of undermined the all the antsy that they're trying to build up. So I like that they changed it because it matches with this new direction that they're going in. Plus, I would imagine that animating a drag, they've already animated a whole bunch of animals, and including in this one, a lot of these are fictional animals. So it's like it's incredible. So for them to also animate a spirit dragon is just
Yeah.
like, guys,
Why did
come on.
they why did
Let's
they do
just
that?
no, because it's gonna be that much more money. That's an incredible amount of money to dump into it. So they went, I think, creatively different. Like, hey, this actor that we already have and already established and already paid, let's have him come back for this scene and then kind of direct Aang towards the Fire Nation to talk to Roku as opposed to a dragon. So it's cheaper for them, and they're utilizing the resources that they already have instead of dumping X amount of money for a scene. Because I mean, in animation, everything's animated, so it's not that big of a leap. But in live action, you can it's much harder to do that and to embed it into the live action to make it look realistic. So I get why they creatively went with that with the other choice. But yeah, but it's just a lot different, a lot different. If you like a blow for blow, and you're just like, oh, it's different, and you don't like it because it's different, yeah, you're definitely not gonna like this one. But outside of it being different, was it good? I'd say so. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I say so too.
How
I
did
enjoyed it.
How did Aang know not to make a facial expression?
That part's a little, yeah, that part's bad. That's
Yeah,
like, oh,
because he was
that's
already not making a facial expression when he first went to the cup. It's like,
right. And you
what's he
already
supposed to
saw
do?
him. He felt defeated and had a very emotional reaction when he saw the force destroyed. So why would he not have an emotional reaction to giant centipede talking to him about, yeah, past life and I have your friends? So that's a very, yeah, that
Do you think
part.
it's like an innate thing? Like just in
Um,
his nature, since he is the same person, just reincarnated, it was just like, don't make a face. For
if
some
it
reason, I'm just not gonna make a face.
That would be a really nice explanation, and if that is what they were going for, I would wish that they had
Mhm.
fleshed that out more. But it wasn't enough for me to be like really upset with it. I mean, it's a little inconsistency that I'm just like, uh, you missed, but it didn't ruin the game for me at least.
The flashbacks that everyone had, right? That's in this
Yeah,
episode, right?
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That
wasn't
was
that
dark.
new though? That was kind of new, right? Was that
Yeah,
in
it
the
was.
animated? That wasn't in the anime.
No, yeah, yeah, because Katara, I know she was sad. Mom's gone. Fire Nation
Yeah.
came.
But she didn't
Yeah,
know
it
that
sucked.
she was the reason she went. Because I always thought that
Yeah,
her
I don't.
mom was the bender that they came
Yeah,
to kill.
yeah.
But then it turns out like she bent and then the lady looked like she was bended. And that's why he killed. Which I didn't know. So I thought that was a really cool twist as far as like
Yeah,
storyline. Coming
Agreed.
from the animation to this live action nonsense. But the
Yeah.
Sokka thing, that
Well, I want to do. Let's sit with Katara for a little bit because I like that. I want to flesh it out a little bit.
what else is there to flesh out?
I mean, just how I feel about the scene. You could
No
just-
one
Hey,
cares
was
about
that a
the film. Moving on.
spider or like a centipede thing? What is the creature again?
It looks like a
Yeah,
centipede, but I don't.
was
I don't know.
Ko a spider then in
No,
the
no, no.
animated one?
No, Ko was it was the same. It was like a centipede.
That's unpaid.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
he
he was like,
appeared
"Ooh."
in
And
the
the dreams, like as a person.
If you look up to the right, does it tell you where you appeared?
huh?
You look that way when you said.
Oh no, I always think by like I look
No,
up.
I did the same. Oh my bad. I'm just picking on you. I did the same thing too. I was just trying to be like, yeah.
No,
Captured
I'm
on
trying to think.
video.
No,
Looking
yeah,
to
I'm
the
trying.
right for the.
I'm like trying to recall. I was like, no, what happened? I was like, no, he was a centipede.
But if you look
I
to the
remember
left,
crawling around.
but if you look to the left, does it show you, or do you think right? Does it show?
Well, if you look to the left, usually people are trying to recount something. Typically, they're trying to recount because typically timelines are left to right. So if people look to the left, they're usually trying to look back in time. Physically, little haha.
All right. Well, look at that. We got a
Check.
little Psycho 101.
So if you look to the right, it's the future, guys.
If you look to the right, then you're just seeing a time that
Maybe.
hasn't appeared.
And that's why
But
Reggie is
if you
always.
look up, it may not be either.
Oh, look, he's seen the future too many times. He looks so bummed out.
That's why Reggie is always right. But no, when it comes to Korra and waterbending and the whole mythos, I thought it was beautiful because going back through it, that was definitely a repressed memory because for her, waterbending was essential to who she was and it was a cultural thing. But maybe it was like deep
Yeah.
embedded because of what her mom said that day before everything happened. No, don't worry, you'll get it. You're gonna be strong enough one day to protect all of us. And then that's the part that she remembers. So that's why it's so ingrained to who she is. And firebenders came and took that away and they took away mom. But then she repressed the fact which coincides with what the owl was saying, like, nah, people are gonna face the truth and most people aren't ready for that. They don't know, not even they're not ready for that. It's just people can't handle it. Had a straight up you can't handle the truth. I think it makes her story so much more interesting and so much more darker. And that plus their story and them going back and forth in the last episode, I really like what this live action does for Sokka and Korra as characters.
I didn't see the end of the episode, so I was just trying to catch up.
Fuck.
Come on. At this point,
fell
are we
asleep,
even
yo.
I
recording?
fell
Are
asleep.
we
yo.
even
Alright.
recording? Are we even here?
Piece of
Are we
shit, yo.
all here?
I saw it three
Oh
times and I
my
still fell
God.
asleep.
I
I
don't
never
even think
saw
you
the
watched the
ending.
show. You
I
don't
kept
even know his
trying to
name.
watch it and I kept
You
falling
don't
asleep.
even know his
Oh
name.
shit.
Okay.
No, yeah, no
guys.
wonder you're bad. You're bad with names. I haven't seen this in 7 years. Straight up M. Night Shyamalan, the damn series. No, but Sokka's
Well,
bad.
don't you ever put me and that man in the same sentence again.
Oh,
Oh
man.
wow.
Yeah. Now that dude sucks.
Yeah.
You
I
and
don't
Sokka?
care that he's made great movies or whatever.
He
You know
sucks
what was the
for-
greatest movie
yeah.
he could have touched? The best thing he could have
make great
actually
movies,
made
I
an
don't
effort
know.
on was this show right here. This show we talk about.
Or he could have just
Took a poopery all over it. Didn't
He could've
even watch
just-
the series.
stayed in
I
his
don't talk-
lane.
Didn't even watch the series.
I don't even.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't
And
watch
here
the
we are doing
series.
the same thing, guys.
I know.
Ah,
I know.
you
We're
know,
watching live
I don't know
action
about
series.
we got Bilbo and Reggie juxtaposed. Reggie's like, yo, I went above and beyond trying to find episode 9. And Bilbo's like, I don't think I finished it.
I saw the series. I heard about it.
I don't isn't his name
My
Ung?
name was there.
Isn't Ung the last airbender? I like that they brought in their dad's friend because he has a whole episode to himself in the animated version.
Well,
Bato? I don't remember his name. But it's
And that's when they save him. They're looking for the dad later. That's like the prison.
no. That's something else. No. That's
Was
the
that book
random
two?
Earth.
That was book 2.
Book 2, they oh yeah. I thought you were talking about in book 1 with the Earthbenders on the Fire Nation ship. No.
Wait, is
Okay.
that when
I
Bato was
think
on
what
there
they're
too?
doing is they're introducing more of the cast now, so you don't feel so surprised when they're there later.
Okay. Yeah, I
Like
could
it
see
doesn't
that.
feel like it's a rush thing since it's going to be shorter episodes. They're
Yeah.
putting pieces of future books in here where they won't have to do a whole flashback thing.
I could see that, or I could see it as, well, they want to include his character and cover it because it's part of the animated series. So they found a way to incorporate him in the live action series, even if he never reoccurs again. But I could see him recurring again. But yeah, they're introduced. They just run into him randomly on some beachhead, and then they're just like reminiscing about old times and their dad. And then he's like, "Well, I'm gonna go join up with your dad. You guys want to come?" They're like, "Nah, we gotta travel with Avatar." And he's like, "Yeah, your dad would be so proud." And that was the same episode that the bounty hunter was introduced, and they had that whole face off. But but it's cool how they incorporated him because in the animated version, it was him giving Sokka the rite of passage test to, all right, now you're an official warrior of the Water Tribe. But in this one, it was a flashback to see that, oh, he was there when he took the test, and and everything that came with that. Uh, that was also way darker. Like at least with the anime, it's like more optimistic. Like, oh yeah, you got what it takes. Like, oh cool, thanks, man. To stand in for my dad. This one was like, yeah, I saved your life, but also keeping the secret from you, and your dad's disappointed, and yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it's so much darker of a twist. And it also it speaks to why he was so happy and elated with the Mechanist, said what he said, and him trying to play this warrior role but never being a warrior, and why he probably was really hurt with the Kyoshi village. He was like, oh yeah, I'm not a warrior. Because not just like, oh, I'm not the only guy and I don't really know what I'm doing. It's like, no,
Really?
I've
Because
tried and I failed.
I got the feeling that it was more of this is what the spider dude was kind of storytelling in his head,
Mm,
because it seemed more like this wasn't actual Sokka's past, but more a fabricated version of it to make it seem more like, yeah, this is what actually happened. This is actually how they felt, just to put them down.
Right. They're trying to trick them a little on the past,
yeah,
alter it a bit.
that's a
Because obviously
possibility.
in Katara's thing, she obviously didn't try to waterbend right then and there. That didn't happen. And same thing with Sokka. Like he was just like, oh, but I actually failed you guys. That's probably what he said in the memory. I mean, like
Mm.
now, but not in the past.
So it's like kind of
So
embellishing it in order to get them to feel a certain kind of way. Yeah, it's a
exactly.
possibility. I think I'm
Because
just
when you look
I took the owl at the at no, go ahead.
when you look at the characters in it, they have like a off-putting standoff, like staring off at him when he leaves. Like
Hmm.
this isn't really a memory. This is more like puppets are just acting on a certain thing.
Hmm.
Because it just
Like
didn't
they're
feel
probably
normal.
accessing some of his memories because he's what,
Right.
wrapped up in the web right now?
Uh yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I think I'm putting a lot more stock into what the owl was saying, because the owl said that people they're gonna confront the truth
Right.
and they can't take it. So I took it to mean like, oh, this is what actually happened, and these are repressed memories versus
Yeah.
it's code playing games. But it could be, I could see it either way. I could
I
see,
thought he was just making the truth harder on them. Like,
That's
yeah,
what he was doing.
Both truths were given to them, were told to them. The truths that were shown to them isn't what they are accepting as their truth. They're taking a negative aspect of it as the truth.
yeah.
Whereas the truth was that his dad didn't think he was ready at the time, which, spoiler alert, he wasn't, because he didn't have any reason to be concerned with trying to like keep people safe or whatever. The only reason
yeah.
why Sokka feels some way about it now is because he was left alone
Mm,
when all the warriors went. So now
His
he
dad
thinks that
died,
that's
right?
nah,
no,
man.
No,
he
he's
just
in the north.
His dad's in the no. His dad's not in the
he's on the
north.
He
east,
His
I
dad's in
think.
the
oh
yeah. His
right. He
dad's in
went
the
out to
East
get
east.
milk.
Eastern.
He went out to get milk.
Yeah, I had a
I'll
feeling
be
he wants to
right
get
back.
help.
I
I'm just
thought it was.
taking
I
my
thought.
boys
Right.
with me.
I thought it was a
Hey, I
water
want to go
gun.
to.
You
Nah,
take
he's too
care of
young,
the
bro.
village, son.
Yeah,
Thought it was
yeah,
a
yeah,
water
yeah,
gun.
yeah.
I,
Sure.
I
Just
think you
going to get
got
some
it.
milk.
Go clear
Thought he
out the
And
went
the
to
fridge.
go.
Fire
I'll
He
be
went to go
Nation
back.
get.
attacks him.
He thought
There's
he
a
went to go get.
long
You know what?
line at
You're
the
right.
store.
You're right.
Go
And
ahead.
then he left Sokka alone.
Yeah.
But Sokka eventually did grow into the person that he needed to be, which was
Mhm.
the protector. But he just doesn't. It's one of those things where it's like you don't see yourself as what you really are, and they're trying to tell him that hey, you are
Yeah.
this. The truth is, your dad didn't have faith in you back then, and that's what's
Mm.
weighing you down as a person now.
Yeah.
Because maybe that's
Yeah.
something that he remembered, or well, those flashbacks are memories, right? Like
As far as
like buried memories, like
Altered
they
but you
memories.
know what?
Yeah.
You know what?
are
You know
they
what's wild
altered? I
though?
didn't think they
Well,
were
this is
altered. The
I
whole
didn't I
point
didn't
was
think
for them to show them the actual the instead of them like imagining or
Like
fantasizing the truth
most
of
of
it,
it's
like most
true,
kids
but like
do.
it's altered because they try to interact to
I
try to
didn't
make them feel
It's
they're still
altered because
helpless.
he was trying to show him he was trying to remind him of the despair because
Right.
Ko can pick them off based off of their I guess when they sink into that fear and
Yeah.
Like when he got down and started crying, or when she
yeah.
got down and started
Well,
crying, like
if you also
that's what he
exactly
wants. That's when
yeah
the
exactly
milk's
he wanted them to
delicious,
fall down to their knees.
delectable, succulent. Take a bite
So
out of this.
so okay, calm down.
This
It's
guy,
not
this guy.
not a it's not
Solid bad guy. Ready to go.
yeah he did it in a way that he brought them to the level where he could capture their souls. Obviously he couldn't capture them if they were all sturdy and
He
all
was
happy
just
and like
marinating his
strong.
suit, dude.
Yeah.
So
No more
yeah,
But you
soul
know what?
talk. It's just
I don't think it was
marination.
necessarily altered. The only alteration was him being present there to steal them in the right moment. He didn't show
But
them
you
the
know,
whole truth.
yeah. I mean, it could be either or, but what is true for sure is that when you think about the worst thing that's happened to you, I mean, or just think about things in the past in general. You remember the feeling, you don't remember each scene immaculate. And your recollection of how the past, how things took place might be altered. So it might not even be Ko that altered them. It might just be their regret. It might be Katara's guilt for not being able to help her mom. Yeah, after her mom was like, "You'll protect everybody," and so now she's imagining that she was waterbending, and then she imagines that her mom's death is all her fault. Or Sokka imagining that he went to trials, or imagining that he heard this conversation that he let them down because of the way that he felt that way. So then the way that he remembered it was different. So again, I could see it both ways. I could see either um or I guess three ways. I could see their recollection of the past was a little different than what it actually was. I could see Ko taking advantage of them feeling that way and changing slight details in order to make them feel worse and being able for him to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Or I could see that being the absolute God's honest truth of exactly what happened and that's why they suck. But
That's
either
possible
way,
too.
yeah, either way, regardless, I think it's important that I think the takeaway I for the takeaway, I don't think it matters whether it's one of these which one of those versions of it is real. I think it's just being stuck in the past is crippling.
Right.
If you
Because
just
you're not moving forward.
yeah. There's a
You're
good
in the past.
yeah, there's a good adage about like it's hard to move forward if you're looking backwards.
Right.
Like it's possible, but you're not gonna get as far.
It's just
And then you
slow.
might, and then, yeah, and then you're gonna trip over something in the future or in the present, and then
Have
you're gonna
you
think,
ever driven on reverse on a highway?
no,
It's
What are you
slow.
doing on the highway is a
Seriously.
better question. Hang
I
on.
I am not in Fast and
Hold
Furious
your
2.
questions.
I don't think I can go above 20. I don't know.
In reverse? I don't think you should
In
be going in
reverse,
reverse on
yeah.
the highway.
I don't think cars can go. Your cars must be very powerful if they can go above 20 going backwards. Or
I
you
don't know.
had
I wasn't keeping track, but I know everyone was driving faster than me.
Why were you
a.
going in reverse?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
It's about family. I did it for Dom.
Yeah.
Was this when you were at that one shopping center you were telling me about?
No, I don't want to talk about that either.
Jeez, you got a lot of car
All right,
stories.
we'll just keep that on secrets. Whatever.
Yeah, yesterday was not fun.
You know what
Moments.
confused me though? The talk Aang had with
Yeah, so
his guy. Yeah. So
His guy. His
yeah,
guy.
that's his guy, man. He
in
he
his
doesn't train
memory,
with any other guy. He's like, that's his guy.
Yep.
Got a guy, huh? I used to
did
have
it
a guy.
seem weird that he was just like, you can help me, right? And he's like, what? No. And he's just like, yeah, you could train me. Like it felt I was just like, the fuck is he talking about? But he seemed confused on trying to help, like when he said, you can help me know what I have to do next. And he just
Oh yeah. I think it's
No,
because he's limited in like time wise, or
well,
I don't think he could help in the capacity that Aang sees him there and he's like, oh, you're here, so I could
like
just come
everything's
back here
fixed.
whenever
Yeah.
to go back to normal, and things can't go back to normal. But instead of him hitting them with the reality of that, he's just like, um, we'll talk when we come back. When you
yeah,
come
because
back.
it feels like Yatso waited specifically just for when Aang would be able to go to the spirit world, and I'm pretty sure it's a one-off. So whenever Aang returns, might be the last time he gets to see Yatso again.
If he
Yeah, or
if
the permanent
If he even
time.
waits.
if he's
Or is it
back,
permanent?
Yeah, right. And then
that
there's
that
that too.
that might have been the last time he. That might have been it.
Yeah. Yeah, because
I
like
feel like
Piazza,
avatars have a special ability to talk to other ancestors whenever, but with normal human beings or whatever they are, it's limited, you know? They can't just
Yeah.
access
Right.
them.
I do like, I mean, it's a little weird and a little different. And I could see, like, I was talking to somebody, they were saying that they really didn't like that part that Gyatso, they was like, what the fuck? The guy's supposed to be dead. I was like, yeah, no, I get it. But then I'm looking at it like, I see the restrictions and the restraints. And I also like it because it also explains how Iroh was able to do the same, reside in the spirit realm in Legend of Korra. So it's kind of like, okay, you just chose not to go beyond and you're so spiritually attuned that you're able to make that choice.
plus Iroh was very spiritually
Maybe
attuned.
maybe he was
So
just
he was
there.
always like that.
He was just
But
chilling.
and I think Kyoto is kind of the same level where and that's why he's able to stay where he is. But also the way the Great Owl made it sound and the way even Kyoto reacted, it seemed like it was more of a one-off, maybe not one-off, but like a limited weight kind of situation. Like he was just there so that he can help Aang, so especially with the way everything went down with Aang's story. Like he was just there to to reassure Aang that it was okay. Everything is just going the way it's supposed to. It didn't matter that he wasn't there to save them. There was nothing he could do to save them. It was
Yeah.
just the way it's supposed to be, and he needs to like get with the program and stop trying to. Well, like you said, expect that Kyato was going to be there at all times to help him out whenever he has a problem. He has to be able to like evolve at this point, and I think that's what if if the well not if but when he comes back because he got to save Sokka, right? Well, Sokka and Katara. So when he comes back, I'm pretty sure that's what Kyato is going to like maybe finish or finalize. But I don't
If
know.
he's
Kobe,
there,
you want to ruin
maybe
it for me?
no, don't ruin it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I'm sorry. Maybe he just comes back to a note because like it's like a lingering spirit where it's like oh, you have unfinished business. So maybe he just wanted to tell Aang that last bit and then that's it. Then he can't. That's as long as he could hold on for.
On that note, we're
But all
done
right.
here. Bye.
Wait, no, you son of a bitch!
Fantastic.
No, real
See
fast.
y'all next week. On
I
Dad's
thought it
Day.
was funny when Sokka was when they were talking about Katara's waterbending, and they're like, "Oh
Oh,
wow, it got real sharp." And I was like, "Oh, she literally made ice and cut it and it flew the disc." It's like, yeah, it was literally sharp. I was like, that was clever little zinger. Dad joke. I appreciated that. And then when Sokka was sitting there and talking to the kid, and he found like a creative way to be like try to get the kid to come to him, and made something like, yeah, he was a goofy character in the anime, but this one was like, oh wow, he's just really good with kids. But of course he'll be good with kids because as the leader of the village and he was the oldest one, everyone else that he's dealt with was a child. So of course he's good with kids. That makes sense. So it fits narratively into the story. So I'm like, yeah, I'm a big fan. Um, and I love Gyatso's final words when he's talking about pain and letting go and holding on to the things that are important and the how convoluted time could get, past, present, future, whatever's. What all that matters is the people that are important to you and the things that you have to do in order to keep them safe and all that jazz. So I'm like, yeah, I vibe with that messaging. I'm a big fan. And I also like how they juxtapose Zuko and sitting there and seeing hit the disconnect between Zuko and his other crewmates. Especially after Zuko really went after the dude, um, Lieutenant G. It's like, oh, only an
Yeah.
idiot wouldn't think that something like that is like, fuck, man.
That is rude.
You think
wonder if
Lieutenant
that's gonna
G
bite him
looks
back.
like
Yeah.
an animal?
It's funny. I was thinking about Wolverine. I was just like, this guy, here's the favorite too.
Asian Wolverine.
I'm an idiot. Okay.
Well, to me, he looks like you know the monkey god?
Oh yeah,
I'm going-
yeah.
He may be the actor. Could be.
I see, because he
So
has hair
he's
all
the
over,
actor?
but not
Could
this
be,
little
but I
patch
thought
right
that
here.
dude was Australian. So,
All right. Of course, the Australian person would play a monkey. Golly.
no way. Those two things are not what I was trying to make there.
I know. I
That
was just trying
sounds like
to
what you were saying there, Bilbo.
Crocodile Dundee is your favorite show? Got you. Understood.
Crocodile
Anyway.
Dundee is
Hey
a
man, can you
movie.
stop
There's
distracting
three of them.
us? Like, no.
It's okay.
No, was it? It was a show. Crocodile Dundee was a show.
Wasn't it a movie?
Movie.
Pretty sure they made a movie too, right?
It wasn't a
Did
show.
they? Hold up.
I don't think it was a show.
Maybe.
was a
Okay.
movie.
Maybe we're thinking about two very different things. What's the
Or-
name of the
You're
guy
thinking about
who?
Kangaroo Jack.
You're
thinking
talking about
Kangaroo Jack.
Steve. You're talking about Steve Irwin.
Is that
Irwin.
the guy who like wrestled alligators?
He was the one who did a lot
Yeah.
of animal shows like wild
Yeah,
animals.
yeah.
But the
Isn't
Australian Outback. He's not Crocodile Dundee. Get out of here. You know
I'm
what?
racist.
Wow.
I'm racist. Okay. I just wanted to establish
Here
how
we go.
On
racist
this
I was.
on this
There we go.
episode of Daddy's Dirty Library,
This
found
is
out Rob is racist.
I would thought like, oh, that was Crocodile Dundee. Yeah.
And just for those who don't know, not Rob is black.
He's actually Australian.
All right now. Aborigine is the term we like to call it.
Aborigines.
Aborigine.
I don't know why I thought you said hamburger in like a different accent.
Damn.
Y'all
Damn.
like the racist.
Okay, no, but I want to talk about the Fire Nation people. Okay,
Zula, right?
Yes,
Oh yeah, did you see the blue
yes.
flame?
Did you
Yeah.
see her
Uh,
twitch? That twitch in the eye?
Well, she always had that, but it wasn't supposed to come up until until the last book. Though.
well,
The
technically,
Twitch doesn't come
she's-
up until the last book.
no, but she's always had blue flames when we saw her.
Nah,
but
man, he's talking
she
about the
wasn't
Twitch.
introduced. She wasn't introduced until episode no, until book 2. So
It kind of gives you that
Nice.
insight about her and Zuko having
yeah,
that little quarrel later and like further later in the comics or whatever. Like how they're actually not brother, well, they're actually brother and sister, but they have different fathers. Like it kind of gives you that insight that they're always going to be.
holy shit, I forgot about
Wait,
that.
what?
Really?
And
Really?
like, yeah,
Wait,
like
what?
there's like
I
the
don't remember that.
whole,
Wait, what?
like, you know, who's
no,
the
no,
real
no,
heir
no!
and
No,
Just
stuff
they
gloss
like that.
over it like
Wait,
you don't know
wait,
what
they
we're
don't have.
saying.
Do they have?
We're
They
being
don't have
mind
different
blown over
fathers.
here.
Do they?
Oh, sorry. How he's like very adamant about Zuko was the one who found the Avatar.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Despite not having actual proof, he's just like, yeah, Zuko found them. Yeah, he
but
did
this
it.
doesn't.
What
this
have
doesn't-
you been doing?
So,
Yeah, I don't like that as much, just because
I like it because
I hear you.
it plays more for his character of being like this manipulative Fire Lord, like
I
being
hear
more
you.
tactful, being more like crude, being dislikable for the audience, and being more
I
like,
don't hear him.
this is how
No,
I
but
have people in power.
and
Like,
I
it
and
doesn't matter who they are, I'll keep them under my thumb.
I hear you, and I understand that, but I don't like it because when Azula was introduced, and therefore forward from ever since she's introduced, you got the sense that she's just super confident, very capable, and sociopathic. So it's like she on the surface she looked perfect, but underneath it's like, oh, she had these deep-rooted cracks. Even when you went back and in time when they're kids, and the mom was like, yo, something's wrong with that child. And she shared those traits with her dad. Like he's
Mhm.
this guy who seems perfect on the surface, but underneath is fundamentally flawed. So I love that those versions of those characters. And there hasn't been enough screen time to really make a judgment one way or the other about how they're going to display these characters. But
No, but
so
what I like
far,
is how they're
hold on,
leaving those
wait.
breadcrumbs in there. Like,
Right, but and I
they're doing
understand,
that like
but so far, I understand,
they're
but
gonna
so
like put
far,
that in the later.
I understand, but so far
How
of what
far?
I've seen so far, this far, episode 5 far, Spirited Away
So
far,
far? How
so
far?
far, so
Way
far,
far.
so
Far out.
far,
All
so
right. I'm
far,
sorry. Just let
so
me
far,
finish.
I
My
get the
God.
sense, so far, I get the sense that
Well,
he's batting for his son, and they don't have any indication of the rift between the two. They don't have any indication of his sociopathy, and they don't have
they do.
they don't showcase her being her being as prideful or as confident. And she's very prideful. They don't showcase her being as confident as she was in the animated series. So
Mhm.
far, I don't I don't like what I see of them, but in this far of the animated version of the series, we don't see them at all. So I'm trying to give them some rope to see how they go, but so far I don't like the way that they're being displayed. But beyond that, I really like Zuko in this episode with his uncle, and especially like walking into the tavern and like that awkward bribe. He's just like super stiff and didn't know how to do it because he's outside of his element. He doesn't know how to play this game, and that's why he's looking down on the mercenaries and all that. And then the uncle being like super helpful person, like, no, let's go, let's ask him for, or he uses the pie show, the giant pie show metaphor in order to push in June into being an asset for them.
Can we
So-
also point out that they didn't show June's sniffer?
They did?
snifferers?
They did show a sniffer. Like it was a big animated
Where?
moment. They showed his like the animal he came in. He just like in the animated version. Well, a little different.
I
from the
didn't see
animated
that. I saw the spirit animal come out.
No, the big sniffer with the weird thing in the nose, and then he attacked the dude, and then she made the
Yeah,
whole
guys, I
comment about
watched
him
this. I
dying.
watched this episode.
Yeah, I believe you. I believe you. I think you just rushed to the end to say that you
I don't
did.
think any of you guys watched the end of the series.
Watched it.
Calling me a
Well-
liar?
I'm just saying, you would know the note. Spoilers.
I don't remember the note. I've been rewatching it, but only for the parts of this episode that coincide with this one. Or the things that I remember. I was like, wait, wasn't that in this episode? But I don't remember Zuko being fathered by somebody else. I remember the mom.
Agreed.
I remember her not wanting to be in this arranged marriage. I remember the Fire Lord being super excited, but then he found out he's like shit. And then I remember her disappearing. And I remember Zuko asking him at the end. I don't remember mystery guy fathering Zuko. But yeah. Anyways, that's all I got. You guys want to touch on anything else?
Nope. Bye.
All right.
That was a good episode.
Appreciate y'all. Be back next week for maybe the rest.
Ooh-wee!
Or
Like and subscribe.
Yes.
Peace.
Have a good one, everybody.